killer woke before dawn. He put his boots on. He took a face from the ancient gallery and he walked on down the hall, yeah. And he came to a door. And he looked inside. He said, "Shane, I want to kill you. But I need to hear your podcast first. Jive Talkin comes first. And it starts right now." It's pretty good. Get yourself a Diet Coke if you know what I was referencing there. The killer woke before dawn. He put his boots on. He took a face from the ancient gallery and he walked on down the hall, yeah. And he came to a door and he looked inside. Now, we don't want to say the rest of it, what he says there, but if you know that, get yourself a Diet Coke. Put some ice in a cup, dump it in there, let it percolate a little bit on there, and then just have yourself a sip. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. This is kind of off topic. Welcome to episode 158 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. Damn it, we've done 158 episodes of this, and welcome. This is a no request zone. Any other video that I put out, you know, my little shitty reactions, I had somebody say something about reaction channels, and I thought to myself, aren't we all reacting to things? No matter what video you're watching, it's somebody's reacting or opinionating on something. Whether it's a new piece of gear that they bought, or a song or a movie they watch, or whatever it is, you're reacting. Everything is a reaction or an opinion, right? Anyways, I'm all over the place. Welcome to the episode, no request zone. Any other reaction video, any other video that I've got out there that has, you can put your requests if you want to just jot something down for me. And then we'll do it on the channel if I see it like it and we haven't. But not here. Okay, this is where we calm down, we cool down, and we take a look at this week's heavy metal news. Hard rock and heavy metal news. You know, we could get way off into the weeds and some shit. Lamb of God singer and Jerry Cantrell doing spoken words. Dave Ellefson and Gene Simmons say rock and roll's dead. You know, but we're just going to do what we want to do right here. And these are the best stories. The ones that end up on this podcast are the best stories. I thank you one and all, because the best part of this podcast comes at the very end, and that is your comments. Just got done talking about no requests. And then I say the word request. And now someone will say, well, I heard you say request. We're taking it easy. We're breathing deep. We got a good battery on this sumbitch. I got all your comments lined up. What are we going to be talking about? We got Ritchie Blackmore. He says music is awful these days. We got Zakk Wylde. We got the Scorpions. Ricky Rocket's drum set was stolen. What? Something bizarre that I read. That I will get into later, but it's basically a diaper for heavy metal kids. So you can go to the concert, piss in your diaper, and you know, we'll get into that story, but I was thinking to myself, you know, a young man, no, that's, come on now. As you get older and older and older, you start going, well, let's rethink the diaper thing a little bit. Now, I'm not saying I'm incontinent. I'm just saying that you start, as you get older, your plumbing starts to kind of get a mind of its own, and you have to start rethinking the idea instead of making fun of it. Anyways. All over the place, but now it is time to spend a little quality time with you. Are we breathing? Are we taking this all in? I got so many things that I'd like to just burst off about, personal stuff. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's get into Ritchie Blackmore, why he's got his serial killer sunglasses on. That's the same sunglasses. He probably bought those from Jeffrey Dahmer. I bought them from an estate sale, Jeffrey Dahmer. It's still got little speckles of blood on it from what he killed that man. Ritchie Blackmore says the crap they're playing on the radio today is just bloody awful. And I want to see if he's going to be talking about some of the music that I like. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you I don't like a lot of it, but, you know, I like a tune or two. I can't name a one right off of my top of my head. Let's see if Ritchie does. He said, Ritchie Blackmore's official YouTube channel. Oh dear, oh boy, oh boy. He's got an official channel. Shared a new video which the legendary Deep Purple Rainbow guitarist discusses his passion for music and what excites him musically. Ritchie says, as transcribed by the fine publication blabbermouth.net, I retain my passion for music by listening to old music from the 1500s and the 1400s. Well, that's when they used to play in the Renaissance fairs and whatnot. Stormy Goldagon. You know, he likes that stuff. He'll dress up. If you've ever seen Ritchie Blackmore, he gets the big feather hat on. What do they call them? Fancy lads? There was a name for him. Powdered wigs and all that. He puts it all on. 1500s and the 1400s. And listening to a few bands that I've become friends with in Germany, in Czech, Finland, and even Sweden. I've got friends over there in Sweden. They're still playing the music that really excites me. I'm obsessed with that stuff. It was so organic. That music just grabs me. I obviously don't listen to the radio in America. What they're playing, their latest, whatever it is. I suppose as we progress and change generations, I cannot relate to what they would play on the radio. I'm a bit older than them. I am. But I don't listen to rock and roll so much anymore. I listen to the old rock from the 1950s. Well, then you're listening to us, baby. You say you ain't listening to nothing in American radio. You're listening to if you're listening to the 50s rock and roll. Bo Diddley. All you guys were doing it, dude. Rolling Stones, the Beatles, they all said, well, we like to listen to that music over there in America. So when you're saying you don't like what's on the radio in America, then I'd please ask you, Mr. Ritchie, that you say the years, because you're saying you go back to the old rock of the 50s, when it was fresh. Like who? Huh? Who you going to name? Like Elvis Presley and Scotty Moore playing James Burton with Ricky Nelson. The Everly Brothers. They say, bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. I says, hello loneliness, what do you think I'm gonna die? I say, hey, that's making pretty good. I'm going bye-bye, bye-bye. Isn't that the Everly Brothers? And then my all-time favorite, I love Buddy Holly. Oh, I love that music too, Shane. Let me read more about it, all right? I love all that stuff, Buddy Holly being my favorite. It's Ritchie Blackmore's favorite from the 1950s too. But if I'm being serious with you, I like me some Platters and shit, like the Coasters, the Platters. No, I don't think it was them, but I was thinking that song, I don't want to set the world on fire. But that's like the 30s or 40s, isn't it? I love all that stuff. Buddy Holly being my favourite, like Shane's. What it is, what he just said. At the time. I feel like an old granddad complaining about the music they're playing on the radio at the moment. I feel that back in the 70s when Eric Clapton was playing Cream. Why, that stuff, it was thoughtful music. You wouldn't listen to White Room or something. You didn't need that chest-thumping drum beat. You would listen, yes you would. You would listen to White Room or something. You didn't need the chest-thumping drum beat. You didn't have to hear that same beat. You could actually go, wow. That's a great song, that is, that White Room. You ever heard that one? They don't play that at the Renaissance fairs. Fantastic. We love Cream. Eric, of course, great. He started the whole thing. He did. There are so many types of music that I like, but very rarely do I hear it on the radio. Oh, come on now. You got to just turn that little knob. You keep going up and down it. I seem to find every bizarre Christian radio station, no matter what, FM, AM, I turn that for my alarm clock in the morning, and everything is like, you know, it's like, where's, maybe rock is dead. Can't find it on the radio. It might be dead, guys. Rock and roll might be dead. I don't hear good music. From my point of view, it might be good music, but it's not something I want to hear. Why, I say it true. When the family all get into the truck. You don't. Do you get in the pickup? Ritchie Blackmore gets the family in the pickup truck and they head down to the North 40, pick up a couple of loaves of hay. When the family all get in the truck and we have gone out a bit on a bit of a holiday, what we call it, which probably is like 20 miles down the road because I don't like to travel. All I hear is maybe Taylor Swift or something. Well, I find it hard to relate to that. She's singing about love and stuff with an acoustic guitar. What's not to relate to? Isn't that what she does? She just sings about, oh, and he left me, and his name was Bobby. Doesn't she, like, she names off everyone she's dated. They can't wait to, date her and they say, oh, God. Not only will she, break up with you, but she writes a whole album about you. He's a suction bed, and that's what I said. I don't hear good music. I hear Taylor Swift or something. I find it hard to relate to that. But it's not wrong. It's the new generation wanting to hear that. That's probably as great to them as the Beatles. And Cream was. And Jimi Hendrix was to me. So I can't really complain, but I do like to complain. And I will complain. And I think the crap, see, here I go. I'm complaining and I'm throwing in swears. And I think the crap, that I'll say it, that they're playing on the radio today is bleeding bloody awful. Yep. Blackmore, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. Rainbow. Yep. Let's get into Zakk. He's going to tell us about the first ever time a young Zakk Wylde laid eyes on Pantera with Vinny, with Dimebag. Sorry, Jesus, my brains. Oh, yeah. Right, I'll tell you this little bizarre story really quick. And I want to broach this the best way that I know how to do it, but there's a bizarreness that has happened at work. Now, a new guy was hired on about a year and a half ago, and I trained this new fellow, and the whole time I'm like, God, you just seem so familiar to me. I mean, where do I know this guy from? This is going to get bizarre, guys. This is going to get really weird. But I think it's him. Because there's an energy. Now, we get along great. I mean, everything's fine, but there's an eye connection and an energy that I don't know if he knows that it's me, and I'm not 100% sure it's him, but I'm pretty sure it's him. Here's the story. He was a homeless guy for a long time. This is what I've learned over this time, and everything's connecting in. The dots are all connecting. And he was homeless, but now he's on his feet and doing things, and everything's good with him and stuff like that. He would have been about the same time that I would have been. I would take this bus from my home down to the building. It was where bands practiced every week. This building had 60 bands in it. So what they did is took a big, massive bank or something, and then they sliced it all up into small monthly rooms. And you would pay $250 a month or whatever for your space, and it's just like a little apartment, but it was a band room. And every week I would go down there and stuff. Well, about the same time that I would have been taking a bus down, here is the story that happened where I went, I think it's you. So I'm riding on the bus and I'm heading down to band practice. And there's this woman. and I get on the bus and sit down, and I'm sitting across from this lady, you know, the open space seating here, and then the rows start to go back. And and I'm going to say for the reason for this story, she was an obese lady, right? Perfectly lovely person, I'm assuming, but she's sitting on the bus. She's in her seat. I'm in my seat. She's got all her groceries around her. She's been shopping. She don't have a car. She's got all her groceries. She's sitting there. This guy gets onto the bus and sits down kitty corner from me, but still on the open seating. So he's right here, and she's in the first set of seats with all her groceries and stuff. And he seems to be on drugs and now again, I'm going to say this is this might be the guy that I work with, but that's allegedly. That's the word I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm sitting across, and he comes in and sits down kind of kitty corner off, but he's sitting right next to her. So she's right here looking straight on at him, okay? And he seems drunk or something, and he starts saying something to her. You know. And I'm watching it. There's construction worker guys and, you know, all sorts of stuff sitting in these seats. It's the end of the day. I'm going to band practice, you know. And he's blah, 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 blah. And she's very uncomfortable. She's gripping her bags, and she's just kind of trying to get through the situation, right? And I'm watching this whole thing, and he keeps going, and I don't know exactly what he's saying, but it's not nice, whatever it is. Everyone sees what's going on. They've all looked up. One guy puts his earbuds back in. And I'm just sitting here watching this back and forth. And then all of a sudden, I hear him fucking say, "Get off the fucking bus at the next stop." And I looked at everybody around me. I'm like, do you not just fucking hear what this fucking guy just said to her? Nothing. Just, hey, whatever happens, happens. Well, the bizarreness of all of this is that she's grabbing her bags. She's going to get up off the bus. The bus roll, I'm starting to get the heart palpitations again. The bus rolls up, and right down this little street, which would have been just absolute nightmare if she would have got off the fucking bus with him, and it was like a tiny alley street there. But just so happens, there's two freaking cop cars that had done a pullover or something. Their lights were still on, but they were all looking at a computer. They were all outside the vehicle and looking in at this guy's. So the bus comes to a stop, and I'm just like, and she's getting up with her bags, and he's getting up. So I get up, I walk off the bus, and I go, "Can you come get this motherfucker off the bus?" And the cop's like, "What?" And I was like, "There's a motherfucker on there causing shit." And so two of them, they follow me. We get right back on the bus. Because I told that bus driver, hold the bus. Don't go anywhere. And so these cops get on the bus, and I'm right there in front of them. And they're like, you know, they're doing, "What's that?" And I said, "That motherfucker right there." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Ugh." I was like, "What's going on here?" And I just said, "Has this motherfucker not been harassing her the whole time?" And half the bus went, "Yeah." They grabbed him, hauled him off. I got about 6 more stops to go. Lady stays on the bus way longer than I did, you know, but you could see the relief just come over her, and she's like, "Thank you." You know, and I wasn't trying to be any kind of a superhero. This all comes back to that guy. I think that's the same dude. Now, he's a completely different person. I like him. I didn't like him then. But I guess my question to you, and Jesus, this is going to be a really long podcast, but I guess my question to you would be, you just let that go, right? Because part of me kind of wants to go, you remember, but that would be a bad thing for the relationship. And then again, he could go, what the hell are you talking about? But his whereabouts, his age, everything, and just I think that's the guy. Anyways, let's get on to that. Was that an intense story? I'm sorry if that was too intense. I feel a bit off put now. And it sure is amazing how many people will just sit on their hands and watch something like that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go, well, I guess we'll be hearing about her on the 5 o'clock news, won't we? You know, it's like, but let's get into it. Zakk's going to tell us about by Lordy, the time that I saw Pantera live for the first. It was sheer power of them playing was undeniable. Yeah, there they are. That is Phil Anselmo in the image there if you're playing along. That's not a dime bag guitar, is it, that he's rocking there? Is he even doing that? He's probably got the dime bag models that he likes, his favorites. Let's get into it. During an appearance on December 2nd, Sirius XM's Hey, Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk and the Junkman Trunk. Coming at you every weekday. It's just a small fraction of what you hear on every episode. Zakk Wylde spoke about his involvement with the reformed Pantera, in which he joined by the band's surviving members Philip Anselmo vocals and Rex Brown bass, alongside Anthrax drummer the Charlie Benante, where basically Vinnie Paul basically ganked all of Charlie's drum riffs and then put them in Pantera songs. So it's convenient that Charlie's back in the band and playing with them because, you know, Vinny's style came from Charlie. Asked what the plans are for Pantera. Let me ask you something, Zakk, if you don't mind. What are the plans going forward? The guitar, what's going on with that? As transcribed by the fine blabbermouth.net, I guess we're getting ready to roll. I guess in January, late January, then we go out January, all throughout February. We finally made it through that pesky month of January, all the way throughout February. And we're doing some shows over there in Europe. Then we've got that, you may have heard of the band Metallica. Well, we got a couple of shows with them. Ho-hum. You know, I read an article about Chuck Billy. He says one of his bucket list dreams, before he gets sent off to the heavens, would be to tour with Metallica. You think you could do it, guys? Do you think you could bring yourselves to take a little Old Testament? Could you do it, Metallica, please? Metallica's done a billion things for a billion bands. I mean, but Testament, they need to come out. What Metallica needs to do is take them all of them. Exodus, Anthrax, Overkill, Testament, take them all out. Say, you know what? No Megadeth, no Slayer, no Anthrax. I'm even going to say that. No Anthrax. And you take out Overkill, all that good stuff. What do they call that? Second wave? Or is that the first wave? There we are. Well, we got that Metallica shows coming back round. They come back round, they do. And I think we're going to be doing some more shows. And I mean all throughout 2025, it's going to be all Pantera. Asked, do you look at Pantera as more of a kind of a tribute type of thing to the late Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell Abbott and drummer Vincent, not Vinnie Vincent, but Vincent, although I do know Vinnie Vincent as well, but I do know him. Vinnie Paul Abbott. Well, how can anybody look at it as anything other than celebrating what they have achieved and what they created? I think it's a beautiful thing. You have the Pantera faithful going at it, and they can go, man, I saw them when they were playing a club in front of 8 people. And that's the cool times, right? When you remember those, when you're like, see a band like that. I think it's a beautiful thing. You have the Pantera faithful, and they're going at it, and they'd say, man, I saw them when they were playing the little club with only 8 little itty bitty people there. Only 8! And then you have all the younger kids that were like, my older brother went and saw them back in the day, and so they know about the legend of Pantera and what the band was. I mean, it was just an unbelievable, unstoppable wrecking ball. I lost my place. Where we at? Beautiful thing, wrecking ball. I coming like a wrecking ball. That's probably some of that shitty music. If you asked old Ritchie Blackmore, do you like your little Miley Cyrus coming in like a wrecking ball? Oh, I don't bleeding like that at all. Wrecking ball, so, damn it. So, to bring everybody together, I think it's a beautiful thing. I love beautiful things, beautiful flowers and beautiful bows. And puppy dog tails and little bitty noses. It's a beautiful thing, because you're celebrating with St. Dime and St. Vinny. And obviously Phil and Rex, whatever, they ain't saints. Phil ain't going to be no saint. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know about Rex. I heard a weird story, but I'm not going to get into that. No, you say, Shane, you don't say somebody's name like Ace Frehley and then say that you have something and then you don't say it. I'm going to tell you a story about, I'll just tell you real quick that there was a time when I guess Pantera was on tour and they were hanging out, and a fella that I knew that was in bands was trying to Mac Daddy. I think they called it Mac Daddying on some girl, but she knew Rex or something, and so he was like in the back seat the whole time and wouldn't give them a chance to show their feelings. I don't know. I don't even know why I brought that up, actually. And obviously, Phil and Rex, who ain't no damn saints, created this amazing thing. So it's more than just a band. It's more of a cultural thing as well. So everybody just get a chance to hear these songs again live. Okay, well, hold on, Zakk. You keep talking a bunch of shit. And the question I wanted to ask you was regarding the first time you saw Pantera live. The first time I saw Pantera was when we did UK, Castle Donington. What was it? Let me scratch my beard a minute here and remember the years. 93 and 94, I do believe, if I'm believing correctly. And it was just like, wow, this was music. This music was custom made for this environment. I mean, it was just completely built for it. Like a good Holly 4-barrel. Hemi Cuda. With the good air system in it. Been watching I started watching this show. It's called Hunt. It's on Tubi. That's why I watch it. I like the free channel. And it's called Hunt. And it's basically, Meat Eater. Have you seen that show, Meat Eater? It's about the guy that goes hunting. Joe Rogan was on it. And they go bow hunting or whatever each episode. This is called Hunting, but it seems like this guy he was the producer for the Meat Eater or whatever show. But it seems like this guy's not very good at what he does because people, he misses and shit. But it's fairly, entertaining. But I'm like, why am I watching a fucking hunting show? I'm not against it, but I'm not, for it. I mean, I'm just not into it. And what I found was some fucking horrifying. They're like chasing down a bear. I was like, oh, he's about 300 yards over the ridge. And the guy's, that's about the best shot you're going to get. And then you sit there and stare, it's all silent, and you can see the binoculars on the damn bear, and you're like, change the channel, turn it away, but your morbid curiosity's like, pull the trigger. Pull the fucking trigger, man. Let's see what happened. And the guy shoots it, hits it like in the toes or something. It was totally fine. It did a skippity-doo, ran off, and they're like, yeah, you missed, buddy. But right after he shot it, I was like, this is goddamn sick. So, I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, you know, now someone will get in the comments and say, Shane, it's not sick, it's survival. You go down there and feed your fat fucking... I've been swearing a lot in this, haven't I? A lot of F-bombs. But someone can say, you go down to the goddamn grocery store and you get yourself a nice big plump chicken and you eat it, but someone had to do the dirty work. So I get it. There's something peaceful about it as well, because most of it is them looking for animals. So you're just kind of sitting there looking over the beautiful, you know. Let me see now. What year was it when I saw it? Oh, it was 93, 94. I was like, wow, this music was made for this environment. I mean, it was completely built for it. So yeah, just the sheer power of them playing, it was just like, wow, this is really special. Have you ever cried at a concert? Tell me, I cry all the time. I don't know what it is. I get all worked up. I mean, I don't sob like I'm, but I get jitter-chinned. I'm listening to one of them songs that just hits you in your guts, and I'm like, oh my God. Another thing that I notice that I do, and I'm kind of a jittery person, but another thing that I've noticed that I do, you can't sit down, because as soon as if you got seats, once the band starts, you got to stand up, because the ding-dong in front of you is going to stand up, and I'm not very tall, so I got to stand. But what I notice is I bounce. I kind of on my toes a little bit the whole show. So by the end of it, my legs are killing me. And I don't even kind of realize that I'm doing that. We're about ready to call it shits on this story if I don't shut up. What's he going to say about Adele? It's like hearing Adele sing. If we were in a Holiday Inn and don't you damn say anything damn dirty about Adele right now. It's like hearing Adele sing. If we were in a Holiday Inn and her sitting there, a guy playing a piano and her singing, it's just like, wow, this is pretty amazing. They put that, my little mouse was over that. I thought they just put the two words together there. We're done with that. Let's get on to scorpions. Oh, look at those fellas. Almost looks like Frankenstein. Is he covering up that square head? And I just put some makeup on and so you don't see the green skin. But that's Klaus Meine and Rudolf Schenker, who's very rude to his little brother. Very mean to him. But Scorps have advice to young musicians. And this is the truest of true, right here, what he says. He says, "Und believe in yourself." Thank you for that. And let's move on to the next story. I mean, I'm serious, guys. No. In a recent interview with Sidewalks Entertainment, they hit the pavement. They get out on the street with host Lori Roselles, Scorpions guitarist Uns Rudolf Schenker here, and Klaus Meine were asked what a piece of advice they would give uns to young musicians who are looking to break into the music industry. Rudolf said, uns transcribed by Savanta for blabbermouse.net. Uns advice is believing in yourself. Believe, in yourself and make something you are happy with. My father, when I was so young, saw me thinking about what I can be. Und young Rudolf, I see you over there doing this. What are you doing? And I'm thinking about what I can be. What do you mean? You can be a big boy and do your schoolwork. No, I mean, what can I be when I grow up so I make more uns money than you, so we don't live in uns shithole? No, he didn't say none of that. Sorry. My father, when I was young, saw me thinking, what can I be? And then he said, hey, make what you like once the money comes by itself. What you're happy with, that's an important point. Most people go and work their whole lives only to make money. No, I was really making music because I want to enjoy music. And I found the right people to get together with Klaus. And now we have drummer Mickey D. Mickey D's Danish or something. Is he English? He's English, isn't he? Mickey D's, I think he's from Britain. Und Mickey D, a very, very strong guy who came into the band. Once you know him and love him, he always wore red and black and striped pants. Matthias Jobs and Paul Makiwada bass. And that's fun. That is fun. That's the point. Have fun. Don't waste your time with people you don't like. Well, we know who, right? We don't need to rattle those chains, but we know who he uns don't like. Oh, what's Klaus came in? Added Klaus. Uns just follow your heart and enjoy rock and roll music. Boy, the Scorps. That was blackout. When I saw the picture of that album cover, whom I always thought was Rudy. But it's not him. And another fun nugget that someone will probably put in the comments, Don Dokken did the vocal demos for it because Klaus Meine was having those throat stuffs. Ikis. Scorps are returning to the Las Vegas Strip in 2025 with exclusive headlining residency show in celebration of the band's 60th anniversary. Promoted by Live Nation and Caesar Entertainment, Scorpions uns coming home to Las Vegas. 60th anniversary Las Vegas residency. That's a long name, guys. Just put the Scorps. The Scorps res. There you go. Kicks off on Thursday, February 27, 2025 at PH Live at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. Scorpions will be joined by special guests, Buck Cherry. Every night? Or just that one night? Or what? The new show follows the band's two previous sold-out residencies at the venue. Scorpions uns love at first Sting Las Vegas. Oh yeah, you got to do Sin City. Yeah, and in 2024, and Sin City Nights in 2022. Very good, boys, very good. Ricky Rocket, they dance some. You listen to me, you son of a bitch. If you're listening to this fine podcast right now and you stole Ricky Rocket's drum set, you better fucking get it back to him. He's our friend. He's gotten the comments of my videos before. You do not fuck with Ricky Rocket. You understand me? I really, really hope that he does watch this, returns the drum set, and says, thank God for Shane. Ricky's a great guy. He paranormal hunts. He's in Poison. He's in those other great bands that we did, and I think he even commented or something on one of those videos. No, he commented on my video that we did a long time ago about the paranormal, because he's got Ricky Rocket's paranormal group. And you guys know I'm crazy. I am crazy for paranormal. I'll watch any paranormal show. Anything you got, baby. Let's get into it. Ricky Rocket. Ricky Rocket's Poison drum kit stolen from Washington warehouse. This is unacceptable. Several drum kits that were previously used by Ricky Rocket on tour with Poison have been stolen from Don's drum vault. Well, it ain't a vault, is it, Don? Don's drum vault. Stolen. Ricky, you better lambaste this guy. You better lambasis this. Tim lambasis this guy. Revealed that Don's drum vault revealed the theft. A post on the drummer of the Pacific Northwest Facebook group, he shared photos of at least 4 drum kits. You're not doing your job, Don. If you're called the drum vault and someone's got off with 4 drum sets, you got problems, bud. Your stock shares are dropping. 4 drum set kits. I like to call it drum set. People call them kits. And included the following message. Stolen drums. Several drum sets from the collection of Ricky Rocket from Poison, have you heard of him, were stolen from our warehouse in Buren, Washington. They are all extremely unique and easily identified. Please let me know if you see them anywhere. Love, P.S. Love, Don. Sorry, P.S. Fucking sorry. I goofed. I'm not good at my job. I've been sick of this place for years, to be honest with you. The new employee left the doors unlocked. Among the kits stolen was a DW, beautiful, green and gray flame kit used on Poison's 2022 The Stadium Tour, as seen in a fan-filmed video. We gotta see the fan-filmed video. It's the Rick Man. Rocket shared Bennett's post. Yeah, I'd like my shit back if you don't mind. I guess I can do a repost, Don. Rocket shared Bennett's post on Facebook and wrote, I'm floored. And he does drums too. He makes drums and stuff, I think. Ricky's memoir, he's got a memoir called Ghost Notes. Will be released July 15, 2025 via Rare Bird Books. Is there gonna be, Ricky, are you tuned into the podcast? Is there going to be a audiobook version with you doing it? Oh, I thought that said Leif Garris for a minute. Leif Garrett. The book was written with writer duo Leif Erikson and Martin Svensson. Ricky is the co-founder and drummer for the band Poison, which exploded into the highly competitive Los Angeles music scene in the 1980s, making name for themselves in the club scenes around there on the Sunset Strip. A diaper. Look at that. There's a guy with about the same body build as me wearing a leather diaper. And these guys are cool with it. They're like, yeah, man, it ain't no big deal, dude. It's 2025. He can wear his freaking diaper right there out in open. He don't even have to put pants over it. That's where we're at in 2025. You don't even have to put fucking pants over your diaper. You say, just take a shit in it right here. Guys, just wacky stuff. Ironically, who's not paying me money, and I drink their beverages all the time, is connected with this. And I'd like some money. Pit diaper, adult diaper for concert goers, introduced by Liquid Death and Depend. And that is a diaper you can depend on. Any good advertising man will tell you that. Miss Althea, I don't know if sales copy or whatever that said. You said something about copyright, copy work. I don't know. But does that have anything to do with advertising? Ad copy, that's what you said, ad copy? Because I'm thinking that's a great name for a diaper is Depend. Depends. You know, of course, they've been around for I don't know how many years. Maybe they'll have it in this article. But, you know, as a Don Draper type, you know, that's they need a diaper they can depend on.
Last week I'm heading down the street, right? And I'm wearing just one of these regular old diapers, that you just pick up anywhere, one of those, money machines. You stick some money in and you pull the thing and the diaper comes out and you put it on, It's just, and then the thing just shit's burn everywhere. So I need a diaper I can depend on.
It writes itself. It's just got to be quick, unique, and clever. And I think these guys have got something here. It makes you want to go to any concert just to see who the first person will be to wear the diaper there. And there will be. There'll be at least 5 people because they want to show up and go, dude, I'm doing it. They say, Kevin, what are you doing? Can't we go to one concert without you being a complete ass? I said, nope, I'm doing it. Liquid Death has introduced, guys, and we also have, there's something I wanted to show you. Kiss put together, before your comments, Kiss put together a memorial or a finale video of how amazing their last show was in Madison Square Garden. I don't know if we're going to look at that or not, but I wanted to show you something about if you don't think that they're using their music. I'm going to show you a YouTube thing that will tell you anytime you're watching a live clip of a band and they're using backing tracks, okay? So Liquid Death has introduced the greatest accessory for concert goers everywhere. The limited edition, pit diaper powered by Depend. And I thought it was S on that. So is that a different company that's kind of goofing and about to be sued into oblivion? Or is it the real deal? Endorsed by drummer Ben Collar, Converge, Mutoid Man, we've done them, Killer Be Killed, yes, All Pigs Must Die. The pit diaper locks away recycled liquid death and helps neutralize odor instantly. So you never have to leave the pit, miss your favorite song, or worry about leaks ever again. Compatible with Depend guards for men, the sleek design featured, it just rolls over the top of it or something. The feature premium, cruelty-free quilted pleather accented with chains and spikes to seamlessly blend into an outfit. Kohler states, the show can't be stopped for a bathroom break. It will for me. I'll tell you that straight right now. I'll get up in the middle of freaking Master of Puppets and go straight to the toilet. If I gotta go, I gotta go. I don't hold things in. When it's time to go, you go. The show can't be stopped. Are you kidding me? For a bathroom break? With the pit diaper, I can hydrate without missing a beat. There's got to be a commercial for this. The pit diaper can be purchased exclusively at liquiddeath.com/pitdiaper for $75. That's a little spendy, guys. What's a pack of Depends? That's something you don't think you're going to ever hear, right? How much is a pack of Depends? Is it a crate, a cart? Let's get into Kiss real quick. We got your comments coming. Kiss shares a 20-minute recap of the greatest night of their life. No. A 20-minute recap video of the last ever concert. 1 year ago today. This was on the 2nd of December. The last Kiss tour ever reached the end of the road. With one final epic performance at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The Big Apple is what they call it. If they don't call it the New York City, they call it the Big Apple. They relive the magic of the night with a 20-minute recap video. And in it, it's got God Gave Rock and Roll to You, all that shit. So, here's what maybe I'll click around. If you don't hear any of this, it's because they tried to ding the video. They tried to get me. But this is the final recap. But here's what I want to show you. There's probably 5-6 songs that are going to be in this video. So what happens is, you've probably seen down in mine as well, is if there's copywritten material, you'll see that song down there. Well, in their live performance here at Madison Square Gardens, look at this. This is the music that is featured in this video. So you don't even need to watch that video to know that. Now these right here, these three, might be, they're already gone through the process. So they might have copywritten these specific versions of the songs, but if they're playing to tapes, these are the same versions from Minnesota to Camp Winnetonka. But right here and right here, those songs, the computer, the AI system has detected this song and this song in those live performances. Does that make any sense to you? Let's see. All right, New York City, the Big Apple. You wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world. Kiss.
I need. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's stop it right there.
Jane.
I mean, he's an old bugger, but by God, still looks kind of cool, doesn't he? Anyways, you're only seeing Gene Simmons right now if they tried to ding that video. And they will. It is time. It is time, my dear and sweet friends, for your comments. The best part of the show. Your feedback from the last episode. Now, I probably should have mentioned that if you want to be part of this, you can, at the beginning of the podcast, listen to this episode and then put your comments in the next one and we'll read them. And you got Dave Peck here. Let's check out, let's see what Dave's got going on. He's got 18 comments and 10 hearts received. I'm proud of you. You're getting 11 right here. Hey, Shane, the reference was different strokes. He's referring to me going, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Where's what was her name? Kimmy? The sister. It's like, get out of here. One Diet Coke coming up. Good there. There you go, Dave. Yeah, put some ice on that. Let it tinkle. Let it get nice and frothy. What I failed to tell you at the very beginning of this podcast when I mentioned a Diet Coke and all of that was how refreshing. I'm not a big soda pop person, but I have one in the morning. And man, oh man, on ice, and I take a couple of guzzles off that in the morning, it just wakes up your taste buds. You're like, oh. I don't know why that is. It just is. Thank you, my friend Johnny B, coming in here. Bigger, 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 bigger. Remember that song? Men at Work? That's a twisted tune. He's going, you going to play cricket this year, Johnny? Not? No? Oh, you must be going to play football then this year, Johnny, aren't you? And he says, well, you sure are a funny boy, Johnny, but I like you. What the hell are you talking about? If you've never heard Johnny, Be Good Johnny, from Men at Work, go listen to it. First, Johnny B says, first, thank you for the Ace Frehley tea last week. I don't know what it is, but I love Kiss drama. They talk shit about each other and then make up and record albums together. I know, it is just the weirdest thing. They will sit and say, I hate that guy. I mean, that whole thing that happened between Paul Stanley on the Eddie Trunk podcast. Remember that? He's got 5 days. Paul's got 5 days to say sorry to me or I'm spilling the dirt. He never spilled any dirt. Paul called him and said, hey, go fuck yourself. They're just the weirdest group. Those guys are true brothers and I love it with an exclamation point. Johnny B says, speaking of Tony Iommi, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, can you name one other guitar player from that era that, in my opinion, is way underrated, but just as skilled and talented as those I just mentioned? All right, I don't want to look at the rest of your thing here, but Jimmy Page, Tony Iommi, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck. I've been really wanting to get into Jeff Beck stuff because everyone just says that's the dude. I'm going to say, I want to say that fella that, and I haven't read any of your shit, but I want to say it was that fella that was in Ziggy Stardust with David Bowie. But let's go. You probably can't, but I had to add some drama in my statement. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Ritchie Blackmore. Boy, ears are burning today, aren't they? I didn't even think about that. Have you ever taken a deep dive into the Deep Purple database? If not, do yourself a favor and dig in. He's an amazing player, and there are some incredible songs that I never knew were out there. I love doing that. And Mr. Blackmore is Yngwie, little Yngwie Malmsteen's favorite player. A little trivia there for you. That's interesting. Yes. Ritchie Blackmore, yep. Johnny B says, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and celebrated with enthusiasm. How about you, Shane? How was your dinner? Let's get the damn details. Thank you for another wonderful episode of my favorite hard rockin' and heavy metal news podcast. I was thinking about things. I got none. Let's get the detail. Okay. You're a freaking delight. Someone's getting the thumb today. My friend, until next time, don't let your dangle dingle. Oh, he's got a PS here. It's my opinion that Tool, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do still have pneumonia. Is that pneumonia? Is that what that is? I don't know what it is. I just need to find a moment to collect myself because their songs are like 85 minutes long. But we're going to do it on the first listens. Until next time, let's see. P.S. It's in my opinion, Tool are more like Black Sabbath than Metallica. Okay. There, I said it. Thick riff-wise and sonically speaking, Tool are more in line as a modern-day Black Sabbath. Absolutely no disrespect to Metallica. Let me ask you this. Are you a fan of Melvins? Because I would be interested in that. Tool has taken... I saw the Melvins with Tool once, and I would be curious about that. And you know what? Metallica doesn't care if you disrespect them. They say, give me fuel, give me fire, give me all that you desire, Johnny B. You can keep throwing it at us. I just look at my bank statement. Say, oh! So don't worry about them. There's your heart, there's your thumb. Because you're putting compliments in there to me. Big Tony, outstanding Jive Talkin' Shane on the holiday theme. Check out Small Town Titans, Mr. Grinch. You'll dig it. Now, technically, that wasn't a request. He wasn't saying, Big Tone wasn't saying, hey, would you do this for me? He was saying, it's the holidays, it's December. Check out Mr. Grinch by the Small Town Titans. Why do I feel like we've done that or I've seen that? I don't know. There's your heart. Miss Althea coming in here. We almost had a scare because when I set this podcast up, it wasn't popping up. Then my brain told me, don't you remember hitting the newest button? And then everything showed up there. And I did it. Miss Althea coming in, the dumbstruck fool, says, Lincoln Logs generation. Okay, the dumbstruck fool, Lincoln Logs generation, says she didn't have much of a Thanksgiving since her husband and her mother were both sick. So, gobble this. And when she means gobble this, she means the items that she's laid down below. But she's from the Lincoln Log generation. People that know the difference. Before Legos, you had Lincoln Logs. Literally, little logs. And you would make little houses. Say, what you got over there, little Timmy? You say, I made a cabin. I say,
Oh, and what's that building over there? What you made? It's also a cabin? Then what's that? Well, if that one's a cabin, and that one's a cabin, what's that big one over there? That's the barn.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot you could do with it. Now, someone will get in the comments and say, you didn't have a good imagination, Shane, but all I could make was fucking cabins. But then I'd take my, take my G.I. Joes in it and kill. Let's get into it, Miss Althea, on Tony Iommi. A nice tandem piece with the Connect to Black Sabbath in 10 clicks or less game. Yes, the game I made up, which you can play at your own time. You put up the 10 clicks or less game you put up last week, going on 2 weeks ago by the time you read this. But is there 6 degrees or less between Black Sabbath and Kevin Bacon? That just blew my mind. Someone else can tackle this one, since I already did my duty by connecting Hide to Black Sabbath in 4 moves without using Godforsaken without using Godforsaken Spotify. There you go. 4 clicks. You got to go Hide with oh boy. Is that him? Get this over here. You guys are looking at all my kick-ass playlists. And I got some good ones. I got some good stuff there. And no, I wasn't listening. This is one of the first listens. If you can even see down in the corner, it says Oz Searchlights. No, I didn't listen to it. It's the first listen we're doing. What the hell did I do here? Is this Hide? This is... What is that going on? Spit mask? That's... Okay, guys, we don't got time for this. That's not the right one. Miss Althea's going, you're on the wrong damn page. And you're welcome to, you're welcome to check out any of my playlists. They're not mine, they're somebody else's, but they're all great. And yes, I got a new wave one on there. It's got about 87 hours of new wave, 80s new wave on it, so. Call your governor, okay? Miss Althea, on Zakk Wylde, I seemingly use the term easy peasy every day to hear a big burly heavy metal dude lay it out there was so highly amusing. Yeah, what is it? It was easy peasy. I tell you true. Miss Althea, on Mark Mendoza, that's the animal Mark Mendoza, and his lovely Christmas song where he says, guess what? When you open that box up, I'm popping out. I'm your Christmas present. The photo of him with both stories drove me nuts. Looks like his stash and beard were painted on. One thing I was going to say about that, didn't he look like an action figure? From that image, I looked at it afterwards and I was like, he looks plastic like an action figure. If you gave him a cool, belt of bullets or something, and a cigar, and a little hat. I otherwise have no comment about the Twisted Sister reunion story. I knew there wasn't any stock to be put in the statement that they were done for good. That they were for good, yeah. Rest in peace, A.J. Peril. Oh, and a little tidbit about go-to drummer guy Mike Portnoy. He and Cher the same. Oh, you meant Hide? No, you didn't. He and Cher the same birthday, April 20th. I am 1 year older. He and I. Oh, you're 1 year older? Aries Taurus, cusp represent. As far as the cute little Christmas song, I was kicked back to my mid-'80s dance club days, so you know all about the new wave. Even the goth stuff. You saw I got a couple dark wave playlists there. I'm into the dark wave stuff too. Man, you put on some dark wave music and go to work in the rain, because I'm out in the out in a vehicle all day. It's like you're a vampire. I pretend I'm a vampire in an apocalyptic city. I'm hitting the horn. Back and go! It's a left. It's the green arrow. Listen. That's a lot of that. A lot of moany, groany kind of guy going. It's great shit. I miss Althea on Charlie Benante. Blah, blah, blah. Just kept waiting for him to use the term easy peasy, like his bandmate Zakk. She's got What You Talking About. Anyone of a certain age should at least have a general working knowledge of different strokes. And that epic catchphrase, even if they did not watch the program. Yeah, it was in the what you call it. You didn't need to watch that show to put your hands on your hips and go, what you talking about? And every time he said it, we did an East episode. God damn it, Barry did it again. And they could have utilized Willis a lot more in that show. They didn't, but they could have. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got plenty of airtime. Maybe young Gary was going, his parents or something, It's a whole other can of beans, his parents. I didn't and know it. However, I did watch. Okay, so she's saying she didn't watch the Different Strokes, but she knew it. I didn't know it. However, I did watch the spinoff. The take the good, you take the man, you take them all from there. The facts of life. The facts of life. There's a time you want to grow and show you're older and you know about the facts of life. The facts of life when the world. I could go for days. Mrs. Garrett, Blair, Goody, Natalie. And then when it got just out of control with Joe, and then wasn't he in it? And a young George Clooney. Maybe she'll mention that here. Sorry. Which had no catchphrases. At least none that I recall anyway. And it also in that spinoff, Mrs. Garrett used to be in the first couple of seasons, I think it's the first seasons, of Different Strokes as the maid. And so they just moved her over. And then Facts of Life, yes. Miss Althea on How Long by Ace. The band, not Fraley. Epic bass line and still one of my favorite 70s tunes. And I got a great yacht rock playlist too, and it's got all of those in there. One of my favorite tunes. Who's the band now? Is it Hourglass? What are they called? Brandy. There's a girl on a Western Bay, and she works a day. What is it? And lonely sailors pass the time away and talk about their homes. And there's a girl named Brandy, and she serves them whiskey and wine, and she's in love with this sailor. But the sailor says, the sea, that's my love. My life, my love, and my lady is the sea. But this one guy she's fallen in love with, and she keep her heart with him. She's got a braided chain of the finest silver from the north of Spain, a locket that bears the name of the man that Brandy loves. Just a beautiful song with beautiful lyrics. Go listen to that, Brandy. And what is the name of the band? Something Glass, Hourglass, Time, I don't know. She loves Ace, that song. It's epic. One of her favorite 70s tunes. Another one I heard today on my Yacht Rock playlist was 10cc's I'm Not in Love. Now, if you want a reason to call me false metal, here's a good one right now. I actually made it through on a radio station once with a live request where they go, "Hey, how you doing out there? I think we got Shane on the line. Shane, what is it that you want to hear today?" And I didn't say, "Can I get some fucking Lay It Down from Rot?" I said, "I'm Not in Love by 10cc's. You got it coming up. I'm sorry you didn't win those tickets, but by God, we're going to do it for you." So now you can sit back over there with your friends and talk about how I'm false metal, okay? If that's what you're into, if your whole weekend revolves around talking about me and how I'm false metal, I just gave you, there's a big piece of pumpkin pie for you, pal. All right? Oh, she's going to help me with nomenclature. Miss Althea says, bonus points for the use of the word nomenclature. But yes, the term word retarded, in quotes, is very politically incorrect. It's the same as little person and that other word. It's okay to grow and say, you don't like that? Well, that's fine. You know, it's okay. That's fine. It's very politically incorrect. So that commenter really should not have received a thumb up or a heart. Just saying, really, did I do it? I can't remember if I did or I didn't. Now, we love you, fella, but we're just trying to teach you over here. You know, it's all right. You're not a sellout if you decide, you know what, I don't think I'm going to use these words that offend somebody and it hurts them. I don't think that's a bad idea. You don't like it when people call you names, do you? Or they talk about something, you know? You're just like, would you please not say that? She's just saying. She's just laying it out. I don't know if I did or not. Oh, there's Christian Haynes. He's in that band Torn Sky. Have you heard of them? We've done them on the channel. Love Jive Talkin with Shane. Good show, bro. Heavy metal horns up. Bang. There you go. Mike Buchanan coming in here, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's numbering shit now. He's really, well, he's really coming together, isn't he? He's really pulling himself together. This week's movies isn't bad. I think you changed that line some way. This week's movie isn't a bad movie. I need to do the this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. This week's movie isn't a bad movie. Maybe that's why he didn't use that line, Shane. It is indeed one of the most favorite Christmas movies, Die Hard. Now, people will argue with you on that, buddy. That Christmas has to be the focal point. It can't just be in the background. It has to be in the focal point. But then again, there's some killings that happen that have Christmas written all over them, don't they? Die Hard, 1988, and I will prove it. Oh, see, this guy is reading my mind, and I will prove that Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie. Need I really give you a review of this movie? If you haven't seen it, go do so now. Yes, Die Hard. It's a classic. Where's his name at? Bruce Willis at his finest. It's one of my favorite shoot 'em ups. I'll let you finish here now. Need I really give you a review of this movie? If you haven't seen it, go do so now. We'll finish Shane's video first, then go watch Die Hard. Thank you. Tradition for me and my son is to watch Die Hard Thanksgiving night for the start of the Christmas season. Now here's why the movie is a Christmas movie, and that's his 8 points he's got. Now here's why the movie is a Christmas movie, and no one will ever tell me otherwise. And just so you know, I'm not on either team. I'm Switzerland, baby. I love the movie. It can be whatever it needs to be here. Number one, The basic narrative situation of Die Hard is a man returning to his family for Christmas. It's true. The airline wishes everyone a very Merry Christmas to begin the movie. Number 2, his wife is called Holly. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Number 3, it takes place on Christmas Eve, not Thanksgiving or the 4th of July. And they're having a Christmas party, yes. It's basically could have been set any day of the year, but wasn't. That's a good point. Number 4, the chief villain, Hans Gruber, explicitly invokes the Christmas spirit. It's Christmas, Theo. It's time for miracles. They're just a great band of villains, aren't they? Number 6, the soundtrack features Christmas tunes. Oh yes, new and old. Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis and Frank Sinatra's rendition of Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. I heard one of them this morning when my alarm went off. It was, what was it? I can't remember what it was. But I was already going, oh, Jesus. Number 7, Santa Claus makes an appearance in the form of a dead terrorist. Okay, that's what I was speaking of when they use Christmas. And number 8, the film ends with the character of limo driver Argyle looking forward to New Year's Eve. Yeah, he just hangs out in that limo all night. I mean, if Hallmark got their act together, they could have written Die Hard. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. Oh, 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 oh. This is weird that you're mentioning this, but there was an elderly, today at the bus stop, elderly, overweight, old man with white hair and a big long white beard, and I'm telling you, he was in just a gray sweats, and he was working out. He was doing a walk like they like to do, you know. And I didn't say anything like, hey, Santa Claus, I've been a good boy, or anything. I didn't say anything to him. But as he walked by, and he was in a strut, you know, he's swinging his arms and stuff. Finally, he decided, yeah, I'm going to lose a couple pounds here. But I was like, that is the only time. I mean, what other time would it be acceptable to just go, I can't go on a diet? If you're a Santa Claus fake, whatever. You can't ever go on a diet. I can't get healthy, dear. Do you want the kids to sit on a bony lap? Or do you want a nice, big, meaty, fat, fleshy, fat one for them to sit on? Thank you. That's why I'm going to have another piece of pie. You know what I mean? Mike Buchanan on Tony Iommi. Metallica took the coming punk crossover band's sound and changed it up to make thrash. Punk bands like Discharge, and I did listen to some Discharge, by the way, after you mentioned that, or GBH, who were moving away from straight punk to crossover punk, hardcore. These were the bands that helped shape the thrash sound. But bands like Venom, Overkill, Sodom were around before Metallica, yes. But Overkill was kind of, barely starting, right? They were wearing makeup and kind of going for a gothy thing. So take a pinch of this, a pinch of that, and throw in a pinch of that, and you get Metallica. Pioneers, yes. Yeah, it was like those punk bands started to go, I want to put a little bit more metal in there, and I want to do some double bassing and stuff, you know. It was the punk bands that were moving over into that style that created the crossover. I don't know what I'm talking about. Mike Buchanan on Zakk Wylde. And yes, I know his name's Wylde. I just like to say it the French way. Wylde. Zakk Wylde on Pantera. Glad they have a good time touring. I myself wouldn't mind getting a new album with this lineup. Interesting. You know it's going to be lambasted right away. They put Pantera on it. It's this version. They go, it ain't no fucking Pantera. Even if the songs are good, it's already going to be like... Mike Buchanan on Mark Mendoza. For enough money, anyone will come back out of retirement. But pound for pound, a live Twisted Sister concert back in the club days couldn't be beat. I've seen the documentary. I've heard the five boroughs, they were pounding it. Oh, and that picture of Mark looks like a wax figure. Looked like an action figure. And I didn't even note that until I was shutting everything down afterwards. I was like, he looks like if you put a fucking cigar in his mouth, you could say, look here, fellas, we're going to launch over there and get Cobra Kai tonight. It wasn't Cobra Kai, was it? Cobra? Mike Buchanan, no, not that I want you to get a strike. Not that I want you to get a strike, but couldn't they have muted that song? I mean, I think it's just I've tried that before where you take the audio completely out or delete the audio files and it's still, the metadata's whatever. Gets in there and goes, good try, cheater, but still. And now it's time for the Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week provided by one Mike Buchanan, who will indeed be ending this podcast this day. Episode 158, and we've done it again. We have absolutely done it again. You and me and you together and true, we have done it once again. And we shall do it again next week. What do you call a scared dinosaur? A nervous Rex. What do you call a dinosaur with no eyes? Do you think you saw us? Do you think you saw us? Have you heard about the dyslexic Satanist? Yep, that's right. Sold his soul to Santa. That's a plus, really. If you think about it, you're like, what? I didn't sell it to the burning hole in the hell fires? I sold it for more presents. Oh, shit. All right. What is a schizophrenic patient's favorite Christmas song? Do you hear what I hear? The sounds, tearing at my brains. And finally, I asked my wife why she married me. She said, because you're so funny and make me laugh so hard. I told her I thought it was because I was so charming and good looking. She replied, see, you're hilarious. There you go. Let's see, did we get everyone's hearts? I like to, Miss Althea's got me wanting to go back and double check on that that heart. That did not look like the He-Day page, Miss Althea. But that's what I'm talking about. Is there so many of the same damn thing all over the place that it's hard, But because I know that he's got a page that we've been on a bunch, but that didn't look like the right one to me for some reason. And then you saw that pelvic bone with the hair and all that. I don't like that. You think I want to sit and stare at that on Spotify, someone's pelvic bones? With no pants on, no diaper even, no leather diaper, nothing. Just the pelvic. You're out of your damn mind if you think that. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I hit something right off the bat. Let's get a good tone. Seize the day, folks. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about the weather. Don't think about your uncle that's pissing you off. Don't think about the workload. Don't think about anything. Stay right here. And then when you get done with this podcast, you stay into whatever else is. Your mind is never truly free when you're thinking of the past or thinking of the future. You can control everything you're doing right now. And I'm going to do something for you. Little piano number. As soon as I find my tone. I feel like I stay a lot on these here. All right, God damn it, we're gonna get serious. I love you, baby girl. How did you like the podcast that we did today? Was it fun for you like it was for me? Do you like it this way? How can I leave it? The killer took the face from the ancient keller and he walked on down the hall, yeah. And he came to a door and he looked inside. Mother, I want to listen to Shane podcast. I wanna listen now. I wanna listen now. Come on, baby, thank you, love you.